Hey, Coach Esther. So 4 ways that I believe is potential causes for your plateauing. But let's even just address the whole thing with what is a plateau, because in your mind, many people's minds, a plateau is like if they go 1 week and there's no change on the scale, then literally it's called a plateau, right? When we know that, usually 3 to 4 weeks where there's no change in certainly not only the weight scale, but let's check your measurements, maybe your body fat percentage. You really kind of got to advance just, beyond just the one metric to actually say, hey, progress isn't happening. But again, I will also, before I get into the 4, state that plateauing is something that is normal. It's okay, Natural, depending on how long you've been, maybe in a calorie deficit. Was everything on target? Maybe you had some rough night sleeps, maybe you had some late nights, maybe you had a couple of family gatherings, maybe you couldn't get to exercise. So there's most likely an absolute definitive reason why, say, your weight scale and maybe other metrics didn't change in 1 week, but you also got to view it in terms of it's not all for nothing. Because if you're still actually sticking to a plan that is technically healthier than, say, what you were doing prior to starting, then in the end, you're actually still making progress that way, and the weight or body change will happen. So here we go. Number 1 is you're just not consistent enough, and you're trying to go from program to program so quick that the minute that maybe the weight slows down or literally is a stalemate, you say, screw this, and then you want to jump to the next thing. Or maybe you binge for a couple of days, and then you're on to the next program. So you're not actually consistent with whatever program, protocol that you're kind of following. You got to give it time, okay? And naturally, when you start, you're going to lose weight faster, okay? And as it slows down, maybe you're not losing 2-3 pounds a week. Maybe you're now down to a pound a week, which is actually healthy, but also very sustainable and still significant, okay? But accept that and don't think that you're always going to be losing 3, 4, 5 pounds a week, okay? Number 2 is your accountability system just plain sucks, right? And what I mean by that is how much food do you know you're having? Like, do you literally have any ballpark in terms of how many calories that you're eating? Maybe how much protein that you're having, right? What about your work week nutrition versus your weekend nutrition? Are you tracking anything to do with your workouts? If you're not, even just runs, how many steps might be maybe taking in an average day? But even if you are doing, say, strength training or something, are you tracking to actually get better so that each week you're either lifting more weight or doing more reps? If you're not tracking any of this stuff, 1, you're just flying by the seat of your pants, which I don't think is smart. And 2, even if you do need to pivot, how can you pivot, right? Because things are stalling and you don't even know how to pivot because you don't even know what you did yesterday or the last couple of weeks. Number 3 is that you're doing too much cardio, right? When you just do cardio, and when I say that is that you're either doing like hour-long cardios or is that your primary mode of exercise, you're not going to change your body composition. Yeah, you're going to lose some weight, but remember, cardio burns calories, not burns fat, okay? So you need to look at how can you up the ante, increase high intensity interval training, but certainly bring in weights or at least some sort of body weighted strength training to really challenge your muscles, advance your hormones, right? All the great benefits of strength training, but at least it's going to really help to kind of change your body. But remember too, muscle, you might, if you're lifting weights, the weight scale may not necessarily move, but let's check your inches, let's check photos, let's check your body fat percentage, and you might notice something significantly there. And then finally, I call it the SS nosedive, like a submarine that's just going down. SS nosedive, with the 2 S's stand for stress and sleep. If you're not managing it, right, you're really not tracking it, and you're just letting it fizzle, meaning late nights, right, playoffs, or just summer nights, and then stress is just kind of bottling up. You think like you're, handling it quite well, but you're a working professional, you own a business, you're a parent, and it's just like stress is fizzling up and you're not addressing it, well, then that's going to be a huge hinder to weight loss progress in a legitimate way, and that it can literally stall things out, okay? So make sure you got a good handle of that. All right, so there's my four ways that are real, that can literally, cause, a plateau, but you got to kind of find it, truly what is the root and what is the cause of it for you to kind of make a smart, okay, and not a knee jerk, but a smart, strategy to kind of pivot and then get yourself back on the right track. Hope that helps.